All right, good morning, and congratulations to Visit Sacramento and Michael and his team for really the incredible impact you continue to make in our region. It's a powerful reminder that the strength in our downtown is directly connected to the strength of the partners who activate it every single day. Moments like that are a great reminder of just how far Sacramento has come. Over the last decade, our urban core has really experienced one of the most transformational periods in its history. We've seen bold ideas become defining landmarks. We've watched public and private partners align around a shared vision, and we've seen what can happen when a community really decides to bet on itself, and that's what Sacramento has done. At the center of the transformation was a pivotal decision, the investment in Golden One Center and the commitment to keep the Sacramento Kings in the heart of our city. That investment was more about the building of just an arena. It was about making a statement. It was about signaling to the world that Sacramento was ready to grow, ready to compete, and ready to lead. Golden One Center became the catalyst in every sense of the word. It sparked new residential development, it accelerated hospitality growth, it created opportunities for small businesses, it brought national and global attention to our city, and it drove momentum across downtown Commons and into the surrounding neighborhoods. And perhaps most importantly, it restored confidence among investors, confidence among entrepreneurs, confidence among residents, visitors of Sacramento, and the downtown as a whole. Few people understand that better than our next speaker. For nearly 30 years, Michael Ault has been at the forefront of downtown Sacramento evolution. As the executive director of Downtown Sacramento Partnership, he has championed smart growth, he has advocated for businesses large and small, and he has shaped the policies and partnerships that have fueled this resurgence. He has had a front row seat to the risk we've taken, the investments we've made, and the measurable impacts that we've delivered. And as we look ahead, the question isn't whether Sacramento will continue to grow. The question is how we will ensure that that growth is intentional, that that growth is inclusive and resilient. How we continue to send a clear signal that this is a place worth investing in. It's a place worth building in, and it's a place worth believing in. So please join me in welcoming the leader of our community to help share our region's future, our good friend, Michael Ault.
All right. Good morning. I want to start by thanking all of you for being here. Yep. This is an opportunity for us annually to not only share the vision of where we're going as a community, but really look back at some of the milestones that we've had. Your presence here today reflects an enthusiasm and commitment to downtown over the last decade. I stand in front of you today as the executive director of the Downtown Partnership that recently was renewed for a 10-year renewal, which is great news. I might say we had 91% support from our property owners, which I think shows some real good validation. So, since our last renewal in 2016, the world has changed quite a bit, and we clearly have seen multiple opportunities for unprecedented times. One was not enough, but we have tested countless programs as an organization to really try and identify downtown's path forward. We've seen real successes, we've learned from failures, but we've also taken risks, guided by the knowledge that a strong downtown is essential to the region's success. The Golden One Center, as John talked about, is a powerful example of how a successful downtown can benefit the entire region. The beam did more than just change our skyline, it elevated the baseline for what's possible. It showed how bold investments can reshape perception, draw people back downtown, and create a shared gathering place for this entire region. It proved, more importantly, that we can be competitive. The Golden One Center itself, absolutely yes, was a huge milestone. Both local and national perspective was gained by that process, but more importantly, it showed that Sacramento is a place that they could confidently capitalize. It's true that in any city, the impact of many projects aren't necessarily defined by the scale of a specific project, but by the ripple effects that they create. Last month, for example, our Dine Downtown program brought people into restaurants during a traditionally slow time of year and generated nearly $1 million in sales in just 10 days. And this year, our Calling All Dreamers Business Incubator program over the last several years has supported over 40 businesses and created over 170 jobs. I think the important part for us is I think it really shows us that it takes projects of all sizes to shape Sacramento. And that brings us to this moment. On January 1st, our district renewed for 10 years. We went from 66 to 102 blocks, taking in the rail yards, Crocker Art Museum, and a footprint around the state capitol. This expansion reflects a renewed commitment to downtown, signaling that we are thinking bigger, acting more strategically, and planning for the long term. By expanding to these neighborhoods, we can deploy resources more effectively and deliver a more consistent downtown experience. Over the next decade, the rail yards will transform into a national model for what a downtown could and should be. A mixed-use district. It'll be home to a professional sports stadium, a music venue, residential living, a state-of-the-art hospital, and a vibrant array of retail experiences. The Crocker Art Museum, with its world-class offerings, anchors our region's creative identity and presents a unique opportunity to reconnect downtown to our riverfront. With the inclusion of the state capitol and our partners with the Sacramento County, we are further unifying public and private sectors around the shared health of our city's core. Our expansion was strategic, and it symbolizes our promise to build a better city. When we think about what downtown is going to be over the next several years, the next decade, we envision a different 24-hour premier destination where innovation, culture, and commerce converge. To help us realize this, we have launched 3 initiatives focused on safety, environmental management, and economic opportunity. But first, and I also need you to really hear this, but first, we need to foster a fundamentally safe and secure downtown. Safety is the foundation that our city needs to be built on, and without it, nothing else will succeed. Behind the scenes, we have been implementing a modern and holistic approach to safety. We're employing a 4-part plan that will be addressed for public safety by transitioning to private security patrols, prioritizing high-need zones, leveraging public resources, and supporting multi-mobility safety. We're furthering that commitment to providing additional services by partnering with our friends at the Sacramento Police Department and also what our downtown team needs to do right now. Next, we will be signing a contract in about a week with a private security firm that will integrate technology to maximize efficiencies and address our most impacted areas. But managing a city is much like managing your own health. While immediate needs demand attention, long-term success depends just as much on preventative care. There is absolutely a human side to what we do in dealing with the social population that we have in the urban core. We're continuing to work with local partners like our good friend Brian Pedro with the Department of Community Response and our own downtown resource coordinators. Our team works to reconnect people with their families, transportation, housing, and healthcare by creating a path off the streets that would not have existed otherwise. Our safety strategy is modernized, it's preventative, it's responsive, and it's rooted in national best practices. It's further strengthened by the Sacramento Police Department, and I know we've got our police department folks here, putting their bike patrol outposts downtown, which we love having, and additionally, the district attorney's office choosing to sign a lease to stay downtown. Both of these will create a more efficient and secure hub for public safety. With a strong foundation of clean and safe in place, we can create a welcoming and authentic Sacramento experience. Next, our environmental management initiative will focus on making downtown a place people want to be, not out of obligation, but out of choice. We're prioritizing actions that will increase pedestrian activity, improve comfort, and make public spaces easier to use. That means activating key corridors and gathering spaces through consistent programming, things like events, pop-ups, and partnerships to promote safe spaces and positive interactions. At the same time, we're also investing in placemaking enhancements that shape daily experiences, focusing on lighting, seating, and wayfinding to make the experience more fun. We've also started with projects like the new lighting along K Street. Hopefully you've seen the lights along the K Street corridor and the improvements on the Capitol Mall median. Because we all need well-lit streets, and let's face it, we deserve green grass. We're utilizing programming and placemaking to make downtown a place people want to show up, to work and invest. In addition to the physical environment, we're also addressing the opportunity cost of telework. Considering only the immediate benefits, we feel overlooks the broader and lasting ramifications. An active and competitive downtown depends on people showing up. It's not our role to mandate, but it is. Bring it. While it isn't our role to mandate, it is our opportunity to work with our public sector partners to ensure that they're part of the solution. Downtown is better and more active when we have a full occupancy downtown. Finally, our Economic Opportunity Initiative will build on safe and welcoming streets. An active public realm is critical to cultivate downtown as a desirable place for investment. Our vision is to make downtown the most stable, dynamic, and opportunity-rich submarket in the Sacramento region for employers, entrepreneurs, students, and residents alike. But to achieve this, we must prioritize catalytic investment that supports our mixed-income neighborhoods, higher educational anchors, and workforce development. What started as the partnership leading a conversation with Senator Angelique Ashby and our partners with Visit Sacramento and GSAC about downtown's next chapter has led to a multi-million-dollar meta investment in the Sacramento State downtown campus. At the same time, we're also strengthening connectivity by supporting regional transit and multi-mobility. We're supporting local and emerging businesses by providing tools that will help them adapt to the many changing market conditions. We are advocating for policy and infrastructure and incentives that will encourage outside interests in downtown. Economic opportunity is about creating consistency and reducing risk, and making downtown a place where growth and upward mobility are exceptions, not expectations. Taken together, these initiatives will share a single goal: making downtown Sacramento competitive, not just regionally, but nationally. Competitive for talent, competitive for investment, competitive for culture, innovation, and quality of life. We've already, there's one of you back there, we've already made strides in many of these initiatives, and our strategic action plan is intentional, and it's designed so that each one will build on the next. But momentum, as we know, in one area means little without movement in another. Safety, environmental management, and economic opportunity must advance together to create real and lasting change. Across the country, many cities are grappling with challenges. We talk to downtowns across the U.S. weekly on how they are reinventing themselves and identifying what's next. But the ones that are doing well now didn't focus on realigning with the path they were on pre-pandemic. They dreamed bigger, they diversified, and they made deliberate choices to stay competitive. San Francisco, for example, made a clear decision. In-person collaboration still matters. They've updated their return to office expectations, focused on rebuilding consistency and day-to-day activity in the heart of their city. Phoenix invested in higher education downtown by creating a steady pipeline of talent and supporting activity beyond the traditional Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 work hours. Clyde Warren Park in Dallas offers a clear example of how capping a major freeway can create and connect public spaces in their downtown and uptown while spurring development and generating roughly $3 billion in just 10 years. Modesto recorded 0 homicides last year. Think about that, 0, for the first time in 40 years. Their city leaders and law enforcement tackled the problem with targeted data-driven strategies, expanded technology, and a community-backed resource like their Measure H. We have visited and met with leadership in these cities, and while they are not Sacramento, what we've learned from them is that even amid the challenges that we face, they have prioritized public safety, placemaking, and economic opportunity as interconnected systems, and in doing so, they have continued to define and elevate their own identities. This shows us that the problems we face in Sacramento absolutely have solutions. We can anchor downtown with higher education by creating a pipeline of talent, opportunity, and innovation that will keep energy flowing well beyond the workday. We can reclaim our waterfront by transforming it into a connected, accessible extension of downtown that reflects our culture, our history, and our future. And we can embrace smart, coordinated safety strategies by utilizing technology, partnership, and presence to create public spaces that feel welcoming and secure. I am confident that in 10 years, Sacramento can be the model for cities across the board. In fact, in many cases, we already are. Through thoughtful persistence, we are seeing leadership turn plans into action. We see it at City Hall with our new city manager, Marikesha Smith, emphasizing the importance of addressing. I haven't even given you what I'm going to say. She has made it a priority, emphasizing public safety, homelessness, and economic development matter, and says we are not backing away from that. We see it in the Shingle Springs Band of Miwok Indians' historic investment at 301 Capitol Mall and the adjacent former Macy's site. We see it in the major infrastructure and connectivity projects like Sacramento Regional Transit's progress with the rail yard station, light rail expansion in West Sacramento, and the I Street Bridge replacement project. We see it in the rail yards where the Wilton Rancheria is building a professional soccer stadium. Kaiser Permanente is advancing a multi-billion-dollar medical campus. And there's Kaiser, come on, bring it. Yeah. You can be selfish, it's fine. And LDK Ventures is transforming a historic landmark into a lively mixed-use retail and entertainment hub. We see it in civic and institutional investments like the construction of the Sutter Health Advanced Care Complex on J Street. And as simple as this sounds, the Capitol Fountain flowing again for the first time in 15 years. Yeah. We thought it looked pretty good with our green grass adjacent to it. We see it in the national visibility with the A's entering their second season of Major League Baseball in Sacramento. We see it in the celebration of the community's history and cultural identity with the proposed Chinatown Gateway illumination project through our Downtown Sacramento Foundation. And we see it in the recent federal investment. Congresswoman Doris Matsui helped us secure more than $3 million in federal funding to reconnect downtown to our riverfront. This is how cities grow, intentionally, collaboratively, and with confidence. Downtowns do not become competitive by default. They become competitive because leaders like you choose to invest, align, and act with purpose every single day. Before you leave today, think about what you want downtown Sacramento to be. We believe all things are possible, but only if everyone in this room commits to making that future a reality. Downtown Sacramento has a responsibility to lead by example as a city ready to compete. This is downtown's next decade.